Hello everybody, welcome back to SimFly News. This is Roberto Capodice, I'm SimFly spokesperson, and I'm here every week to bring you the latest news and latest update about SimFly progress. Not only if you have questions and you post them in the website in the Ask Me Anything session, and your question is voted enough, I also answer to about 4 questions per week. So there, let's get started. And today we are on the overview of license. We already spoke about the license in 2 previous weekly news. I show you some sneak preview of what is going to be. We saw how to activate the license and so on, right? Now I'm gonna show you what are going to be shown about a license. Now, at the moment, if you click on the detail of a license, as you can see on my back, there is very little about this license. Any license owned by anybody, your own, a bank one, it just gives you the minimum. Now, get ready, I'm gonna show you how the details of the license are going to appear soon, okay? So, any license you click, you can get this. See how many information are there? It's quite amazing, right? Now, this page can be seen by everybody, but if the license belongs to you, there are some extra functionalities, okay? So I want to go a little bit around the license new page. Again, it's going to be deployed soon. As you can see on the top left, there is the image. The license have different ranks, okay? You start with the first one, then you are, you upgrade, so you go up. So you have 10 levels to reach. When you're at the 10 level, you can change the rank of your license. So the rank is the small number, that in this case is number 1, that is there. As the rank goes up, as the number change, and the image of the license change as well a little bit. Now, let's move on the right side. Please note that the data that there are in this screen are pure random data, so they don't have to make sense, okay? So if you see something coherent, I will point it out later. Don't worry, this is just random data to show you how the look is going to be like, okay? So here you see on top, the owner, okay? Again, you can go to the owner page by clicking. It says what it is. It says the pilot license, because a very detailed page similar to this is going to be available also for airport and airplane. So bear with us. We're going to get there too in the next few releases. Here you have the rank. This one, in this example, is a cadet license. Then there is the unique ID number of this license. Pay attention, this number is unique to this license. Even if you sell the license to somebody else, you buy the license from somebody else, or is the one that is being assigned to you when you register with SimFly, this number is going to follow the license, cannot be changed, is unique to the license, okay? And then there are the amount of times somebody came to view this page. Now, 23,000 is a big number, okay? Again, it's a random number, but then there is a scroll bar. This scroll bar allows you to see what is the progress this license is doing. So now it's going to be this is level 1, just started. When the bar goes to the end, it goes to level 2. And then again, go to the end, level 3, and so on and so forth. When it's level 10, then you can upgrade to the upper rank. And that is going to start again level 1 for the new rank, level 2 until level 10, and so on. How this bar progress? Based on the experience point that are connected to this license. And in fact, you're going to see here that there is the timer. At the moment, if you go to the logbook, you're going to see the timer there because nobody has an activated license. So the timers are related to the user. But as soon as we go and activate licenses, then this is going to be a timer relative to the license, which means that if you have 3 licenses, maybe one license timers are consumed completely, but you can fly with the other timer, with the other license, and the timer that is still to be consumed. So There is not one unique timer for the user, but timers are related to each single license. So if you have more than one, once that you are at the low rank, so you can only earn experience point for a few hours a week. You use one license. Once it's burned out the timer, move to the next license. So the next flights that you do are going to earn good experience point also for the license. And if you have one more license and more time in a week to use your flight simulator, move to another license and so forth. Okay, because if you only use one single license, after the limit of the timers, the earning experience point is 1/10 of the original, so is very small. Okay, so you can see here the 24, the limit in 1 day, 24, and then 84 hour, the limit in the 84 hour, with the countdown to the reset time. Okay. Whew, mamma mia, so many things, and we are just at the beginning. So let's go a little bit lower. You see that there are some information about this license. This is an interesting aspect. Now it shows the current location. So when you activate the license, if you remember that we saw in the past videos, you choose a location where the license should be put, okay? So your favorite airport, wherever you think you're going to be fly from more often. And the license is going to be there. This is in fact connected to the NICAO address, and you see that there is an airport. Now, if you're looking at your own license, there is also this button that says move, right? When the button that says move is active, you can click and put the license in another airport. Why would you do that? Now, at the moment, when you fly around, your license stays always in the airport where it is. But in the future missions, you will need to fly out of an airport where your license is. If my license, which represents a pilot if you want, is in New York, and I have a flight from Vancouver and I want to fly with a pilot, I need to get the pilot from New York to Vancouver before I can start the flight with that pilot, meaning with the license, okay? So unless I have another license that is parked in Vancouver, I will need to go here and move my license in the new airport. Is obviously going to have a little bit of a fee in PAX tokens that is going to be charged to move, because ideally you should take an airplane and fly to the other airport so that your license is going to be there. But don't worry, at the beginning this is not going to be happening. For now, the license stay in the airport where you put it. As you can see, there are information of the last flight done by this license, in what date, what distance has been done, from what airport to what airport you've been flying, what airplane you have used, right? Let's go back on the other side. Interesting, under the picture of the license, there is an upgrade button. Again, this button appears only if you're looking at your own license. If you're looking at somebody else's license, you cannot upgrade it for that, right? So if it is disabled because the license is not yet at level 10 of this rank. If it was a level 10, this button will be activated, and when you press it and click it, automatically it's going to upgrade the license to the new rank, okay? Which means it's going to have timers that last longer, it's going to generate more PAX for each flight, and so on and so forth. Then you can see the statistics about this license. Pay attention, we're not talking about the account of the user, but specifically of this license. You can choose, if looking at the statistic of the current owner, say you bought a license from somebody else, and you want to see only the statistic about you using this license. You don't want to include the data from the past life of the license, okay? Or if you want to check all owners. So this is all the history of this license from when it's been activated until now. And you can see the total amount of flights done, total amount of time done, the distance, the fuel used, the trip around the world that this has generated, and the emissions, if you want, that have been saved by not polluting the air. And this is the total. Now there is the average, which means that if you have done 397 flight, this will be the average between all the flights that you have consumed. As you can see, the data are wrong because here you can now make the distance total for 397 flights, and now for the average have the same amount. Okay, so those numbers are just a placeholder. Okay, so don't start saying, doesn't make sense. Okay, so we're showing you, but it's not yet data feeded by the system because license cannot be activated yet. That's why we don't have those data to show you. But you understand that is the average between all the flights that this license has done, either with the actual owner or all the owner that he had. And then there is particularly the landing rate and all the data about the landing rate that this license has done. And the earnings. So how many experience points that this license has piled up, and pay attention that this experience point is going to only belong to this license forever, so you cannot transfer them out. They're not born, that doesn't disappear. They go up because higher they go, more you can upgrade to higher ranks. So somebody that is Captain, the top rank, is sure it's going to have a lot of experience points because there is no way to be up there without the experience point. And then the PAX token that this license has made the user earn. So they're not attached to the license. So if you sell the license, the PAX token stay with the user, don't go with the license. Okay. Now let's look at the beautiful graphs that are on the right side. So you have your performance score of this license. Pay attention. So not of the user. Maybe if you have 3 licenses, with one you fly very bad, with one you fly very good, you're going to see different graphs based on the license that you have chosen to see. You can see your own scores with the different analysis that are done on the flights done with this license and the penalty that you get compared to the average of all the other players. So you can see if you're being excelling, if you're better than the average players or you're worse than the average players. So you have a comparison about how well you fly compared to other users. And last but not least interesting, the top airplane that this license has been used to fly. So again, here we put some data that are random, but you see that based on the kind of airplane, there are different percentages that are represented in this cake diagram. We're going to try to make everything clickable. For example, the name of an airplane, you click and you go on the card for the airplane to see all the specific and to buy it if you want it, if you don't want it. And this is pretty much everything related to the card with all the specific. Remember, now it looks crap because there is no data. Soon this is all the information relative to the license. One more thing, we already have them ready. We're gonna show you in the future. As soon as you can activate airport, as soon as you can activate airplanes, each of them are going to have as well a card like this with all the information from the data being activated to the current day. All right. So this is a good news. It's also a very nice detailed set of information that you have. Okay. Now, another thing, your PAX wallet. Now you can see behind me, this is the PAX wallet. It was never, and is going to be activated soon, but it was never there before. So it's added in the section of your user profile, user settings page. And here you can see all the PAX transactions that your account, your user, has done. This can be the PAX that you have earned by making a flight, the PAX that you have earned passively because your airport had a lot of landing and takeoff as soon as it's going to be activated. Also the PAX that you passively earned because your airplane being used for some missions, right? But also, if you are selling this small airport that you bought, then now you raise it up the level to very high and it's producing a lot of PAX and it's very nice, but you want to buy a bigger one and start working from the level 1 on the bigger one. Now you are selling it in the marketplace. If somebody purchases it from you, there you go. You have the income of PAX. And last but not least, and the most interesting aspect, is that if you have a lot of PAX and you want to sell to somebody your PAX for money, US dollar, crypto, whatever, you can put them in the marketplace. Those PAX gonna be locked, means that you cannot spend them for something else, because that would be bad if you put them for sale and then somebody buy and they're not there anymore. They're gonna be locked. Put them for sale in the marketplace. If somebody purchases them, then your PAX are gonna be gone, and you're gonna see this transaction here. In fact, similar to this, there is going to be another wallet about the fiat money, because those are money that you can receive if somebody purchase PAX tokens from you, or even an asset and paid in dollars and not in PAX tokens. So these are the things, the transaction that you see relative to PAX in this. You can filter them, saying I want to see movement of PAX of today, of yesterday, of a very particular period from a certain date to a certain date. There are a lot of presets there. And then you can search for other things, amount, condition, is the transaction completed, only locking funds, etc., etc. So you have a full capability to go through all the operations that you have done in PAX and see them. So this is, again, data that are there are just random data because we want to show you the interface. We already have programmed, but in the code that we have, if you show with the one in our development server, there is no data inside, so it's going to be ugly. So we prefer to show you this, that at least it looks like it's going to be when it's going to be used. But this is also already implemented. All waiting for September the 9th when we launch the PAX token. All right, so last but not least, the last things, the news of today. We have so many news, I can go ahead for hours to talk to you, but next week, more stuff. But something we are doing, because we've been asked a lot, we release a new airplane. This new airplane is the Airbus A321-200. It's one of the most loved and famous airplane at the middle long range. Is 44.5 meter long, to be exact 44.51 centimeter. So 4,451 centimeter if you want. If you're American, it's like 40 washing machines. American use everything but not the metric system. This is 44.51 meters. And the wingspan is 34.10 meters. It can host up to 244 passengers, and it can take off with a maximum weight of 83,000 kilos. So I cannot be in the airplane, I guess. Okay. For the whole month of September, this is going to be discounted at 50%. Then the price goes up. Pay attention that in the future they're gonna have missions that you can go in only if you have airplanes that are no more available, are special editions, and maybe using a particular airplane in other condition is gonna make you earn more PAX or earn more experience points. So make sure to have all the special airplanes that are around, because they can be a good investment for the future, okay? All right, about the news, that's all. And now I'm going to answer the question that we received in the website. If you go to SimFly website, on the top menu bar, there is a voice, it's called AMA/Q&A, okay? If you click there, you're gonna see a lot of questions asked by other people. If you see a question that resonates with you, please vote it up. You need to be logged in to vote it up, okay? Vote the question up so that the top question is what we're gonna answer. If you have a question you're not sure it's gonna be already answered or not, there is a search function. Put there one word that may be keyword for what you want to know, and there is going to be a list of questions, and some already answered, that are related to the keyword. Do this before asking the question yourself, so we don't have a lot of repetition of the same question many times. And once you have the question, share the link of your question. Is on the bottom right of the question. Once it's published, there is a link to copy, and you can bring in your social media, in Discord, say, hey guys, I asked this question, please go vote it, so next week Roberto are going to answer it, okay? So do this and stay active, because You are the community and you are the reason SimFly exists, okay? Without you, SimFly doesn't exist. Or if you're there and sitting, complaining, and don't do anything to make SimFly alive, also it's not gonna happen. So we need all of you to be active, follow us in social media, and spread the word, share your adventure. Once you do a flight, there is a social media button. You can share the report of your flight with your friends. You do that, they come and see SimFly, they're so cool, and then maybe they register. The more users we have, more powerful we are, and then more things can be deployed. So it's all back to the community, and the community is you. Okay, now let's move on. The question we have received, the first question, it says, I have a new first level license. How many flight hours are needed to generate one PAX token? Now, this is a question that is close to impossible to answer because the conditions are so many and so different. I know that with experience point, this is a straightforward thing because if you are inside the timer, when you fly, you have one experience point for each dot time, dot distance, whatever it is, based on the asset you have. If we're talking about PAX, there are so many conditions to make this result different, and there are conditions that keep changing as well. So even if you do two flights that are identical, maybe there was a turbulence in one and not in the other, and how you react to it makes a difference. In fact, the PAX are not calculated as you go, like the experience point, but are calculated once you land and close the mission. There is a big analysis done of all the flight. It takes in consideration a lot of things. What level is your license? What airplane you've been flying? How long distance you've been flying? Because if you make a very short distance flight, the calculation is different. If you make a very long distance flight, the calculation is different. So there are a lot of parameters that change, which is the hourly rather than per kilometer, rather than per airplane type, rather than per airport that you arrive to, rather than how is your landing rate, rather than how you comply to all the rules of the aviation. So there is not one precise answer. I guess that the best thing to do, as soon PAX are released, people are gonna start sharing with each other. I did this fly in this condition. You can see the penalties I got, and this is the amount of PAX I got. I did this one, and we start slowly understanding which is the capacity of generating PAX based on many conditions. Overall, SimFly on the back need to pay attention that there is always a balance in the economy. So sometimes we can make adjustments. We're gonna start at the beginning being more generous with PAX. So if the 9th of September you have a license, you start flying, for sure you're gonna make more PAX than people start making in October, November, December 2025, because we start more generous, and then we start cutting the border to make sure that we don't flood the economy with too many PAX. This is important because if we do that, SimFly is over and everybody loses everything. So it's important to make it very well balanced, and this is a job that we have to do. We ourselves don't know exactly how much people are flying, what conditions, how long, what kind of things, etc., etc. So one more time, impossible to answer this question, but I hope my explanation, my answer, make you understand which are the paradigms for the generation of PAX. And the actual practical answer is going to come as soon as people are going to start generating PAX, and that start chit-chatting in Discord, in Telegram, whatever it is, in SimFly groups about the result, and there we start understanding how things are going. Okay? Second question for the Ask Me Anything. This come from Dabule, asked July 28, 2024, has 4 votes, and he asked this. There is the possibility to continue to add new licenses and new aircraft with 0 experience point that makes them an entry level for new users. What he's saying that is bottomless. If tomorrow we are blessed and there is 5 million users in SimFly, all the 5 million people have the option to buy a new license that is very cheap because it's at the bank price, because it doesn't have already level or rank that are gone up to make it more valuable, right? So what is saying is this: whoever enter has the chance to get a license and start from zero with his license. However, this is not possible with airports, because the airports are a limited number and they're all already out there, it says. How can airports remain available to new users at an affordable entry price once airports start accumulating experience points, level, and consequently value? So what he's asking is very intelligent, very good question. Actually, I really appreciate this question. And I have to say that we were discussing before recording the video, and I misunderstood the question. Karim, so kudos to Karim, made me understand what the question meant exactly. And I want to relax you here. So the question, what he's saying is like, airport are all there. People start flying around and landing on airports. So all the airports are going to accumulate experience point. And given 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, somebody there arrive cannot find an airport that has zero experience point, is a level 1, and can start to be, grown up and invested in. Well, I have to say there are 40,000 plus airports, okay? 40,000, 40,000 plus, okay? Now, the airport that have not been purchased by anybody, so they still belong to SimFly Bank if you want, they do not accumulate any experience point. So if people land and take off in those airports, nobody makes any PAX, nobody makes any experience point. The airport remain, if you let me the word, virgin, okay? So as soon as somebody go there to buy it, it's gonna start from level 1, okay, with the zero experience point. So as soon as a user buy the airport, activates the airport, and with the activated airport start getting people landing there, then only in that moment the airport start accumulating experience point and eventually PAX. Now, is it true that 40,000 still a huge number, but is a finished number, right? But this is one of the points of SimFly. First, the people that is here now, which means all of you guys that are listening to me now, before SimFly is so famous that it's known worldwide, that everybody that has a Microsoft Simulator, X-Plane, and whatever else have a SimFly account, you are a little bit blessed because you are at the early stage where a lot of things are available. Somebody arrive 5 years down the line, there is going to be less, because if we don't do this, there is no opportunity for people that started something good to resell it and then buy something bigger, or cash out the money if they want. So this is one thing. Yes, it's still necessary to build them up, and they're gonna stay cheap because they don't go any value unless they are owned. And notice that all the missions that are automated by the system are going to use only airport, or mostly airport, that are already owned by some users. So there is going to be also an interesting aspect that flight from to are going to be mostly flight from to airport that somebody already owns. Unless it's an airport like Dubai, London, Singapore that nobody yet owns, right? So those are going to be there, but they are not making any PAX, any experience point. So they're going to be still available, and this is part of the game. We estimated that before they run out, we need to have such a large use base, and it's going to take so many years, because I don't think anybody's coming and buy $100,000 cash in airport. That would be crazy. I mean, I'm not going to say no, but that would be crazy. Those airports that cost a lot of money are not there because we hope to sell them in cash. Those are there because people start with a small one, increase, resell, get the PAX, use the PAX plus some other PAX, maybe $1 to buy the bigger one, and in a long time makes his, like a career sort of business management outside the piloting to allow to be able to afford an airport like Singapore, London, Dubai, etc., etc. So understand the mechanic and the logic of SimFly. We want people to make it a long-term commitment to grow and grow and grow, and then as the community becomes bigger, there is going to be a lot of movement inside. We are going to still able to sell things for maintaining the cost of the servers, pay some salaries, but like the boost, the subscription to have a superpower in your account, and things that are not going to be possible to be purchased in PAX. And that's how SimFly survive. But for the rest, is an economy between the users. I hope this answered your question and answered many other people's questions around this topic that I saw a lot. Now, there are two questions that pretty much we answer together. One is being asked by Elates and says, when will be able to MaxWex users to participate in SimFly? And another one asked by G. De Martino says, is development of a SimFly client planned for Microsoft Xbox console? This will expand the similar user base who can fly SimFly services. Here, we also know that there are Linux users that have a flight simulator. There are so many things collateral that we are going to do. It's just a matter of the capacity of implementation we have, okay? So we want to give quality products and we want to do things done well. Now with the launch of PAX, we are closing up on many things. There is going to be new marketplace, then the users marketplace, a few other things that we need to do and pay a lot of attention. But when all this is done, we're gonna have the possibility to focus on something else. We will need to understand from the use base that we have, so the users, to let us know which is more important to invest into. Research time. There are a lot of Mac users that have flight simulators, so that if we invest in implementing that, there is a good return of users later. There are more Xbox users that want to participate. Is it possible, and to what level is possible to do it through Xbox? Linux. There is only 2 people with Linux. Oh my God, let's get them some good Windows gaming computer. Or there is so many people with Linux that want to participate, that makes sense to work in the direction. We are planning a mobile application as well. So when you are around, you can get notifications somebody landed in your airport, and this gave you a certain amount of PAX, and you can control several things, even outside the sitting in the simulator and flying. But all the economy, you're gonna be able to access, see status, get notification. So there are a lot of things that are in waiting line to be implemented. We are going to start implementing a voting system, so where people can vote and say, really, I would like the next user working on this rather than that. And this is going to be put, the top voted, obviously, is going to be the one that we are going to implement. And for those of you that is a little bit tech savvy, one of the plans that there are is to have open APIs for SimFly, which means that there are going to be some functionality that people can independently implement. Somebody want to make a mobile application to see certain data, there are the API, and they can implement it and distribute it and sell it and make their own money. We have no control over that. But we're going to give this opportunity to people to make the application even more broad and, with the functionalities without having to depend on us, the implementation. So I hope this answer Daboulet and G. De Martino. And because we answered 2 questions together, and there is 4 questions per week usually, let's add one more question that so we complete. So question number 4, which will be 5, but is 4. It says, it's being asked by Easycat, sorry Easycat, I don't pronounce your name well, try to say Capodieci. It is being asked the 28th of July, has 3 votes. Guys, we need more votes on question. 3 votes. One is the person that wrote the question themselves, and the other 2 is mom and dad who is voting. So I want to see question with at least 15, 20, 30 votes, right? Please be active in this aspect so I can answer questions that make a lot of sense. Not that this doesn't, it's a very good question. It says, I understand that it's hard to estimate how much PAX we should expect to earn. However, since we obviously won't be millionaires, I still want to know if some people could make a living out of SimFly, or I'm crazy asking this thing. It says, so the question is says, can I make SimFly my job and pay my rent, my bills just by flying the flight simulator with SimFly? Now, that's not the goal of SimFly. Meaning SimFly is still an add-on to something that is not a job. Meaning that flight simulators is for passion, is something that people do because they love this. We want to add a little bit of more reality and simulating the fact that there is a financial world around it. A pilot can get a salary, but obviously, if somebody at the end of the month go out with friend, eat a pizza, or even more, can buy a nice present to their partner, that would be a big success for us. Yet, if somebody really devoted to make it a huge business, I would like only to outline 2 facts. It is not sitting at the flight simulator and going back and forth between 2 airports that's going to make you rich in PAX and then eventually in dollars. Because there are so many different things that you need to do, and which is the SimFly philosophy. So you need to build an empire. Yes, flying between 2 points, if they're distance enough, may give you some PAX, but use 6 PAX to buy a small airport, then go in the forums of simmers, tell them, hey, come in SimFly, fly to my airport. So you start making the airport collect a lot of experience points, a little bit of PAX, so you can upgrade it to the next level, and then maybe you are using, because you're doing a lot, you have several licenses, you start reselling them, and then start growing more. And then with all the packs that you collect, you start buying a more important airport, and you're gonna be one of the few that has an important airport. So all the missions that the system calculates are gonna send people with a certain kind of airplane, because you cannot land the 737 in a grass strip, right? To your airport rather than an airport that is owned by SimFly Bank and makes no revenue. So you're gonna start making more, and with these things you can upgrade the airport and then eventually resell it to a group of people. Because one thing that we are planning to do in the future is that the large airport can be purchased collectively by either virtual airlines or a group of people that want to get an airport together, and they share the revenue and the cost relative to it. In this way, if you are using SimFly in a smart way, building a small empire inside the world of SimFly, I guess you can even make enough to live. You will be the biggest promoter of SimFly, because it's going to be your interest that there are more and more people participating, there is more traffic, more airplane. We would love to have more flight in our map the Volanta has in their own. That would be like the success, for SimFly. And if we are at the level, yeah, most probably there is going to be people that starting now in a smart way, they are building up so well that they can be small magnate of SimFly, like small bosses. Maybe working together with somebody else is better, because alone is difficult. So answering your question, is not the aim of SimFly to create people that make a living by using SimFly. That's not really the aim. But doesn't mean it's not possible. If worked seriously and follow the things, actually, those that are here now in this moment are the most advantageous, because you still have the possibility to create the amount of assets, grow them up, resell them. So you have a very good starting point, because people that comes out in later, are going to find that a lot of airports are already sold, that there is already some people organizing groups, so they need to integrate, etc., etc. It's not that it's impossible to do well if somebody does well, but currently is a very good moment to get organized to do well. All right, and this is also the answer to the last question. I'm almost out of breath. This, I think, has been one of the longest, news set. My God, more than 40 minutes, incredible. So if you've been listening until now, man, kudos. Thank you for listening to me. And I see you next week with the next edition of SimFly News. SimFly, get off. No. Repeat with me correctly. SimFly, take off and get more. Ciao.